Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to TMXing Adventures. It is Lisa here, and this afternoon we are going to make some berry jam because I have a whole lot of gorgeous mulberries ready to be used up. So it says mixed berry jam, but I'm going to use this as the base to make mulberry strawberry jam. I do have some strawberries because I don't think I've got quite enough. But that's the plan for this afternoon. In the oven at the moment is an amazing sourdough discard brioche style bread that the kids have actually made with gluten-free flour, which I probably would have advised them not to. However, it's funny how when you got little people who don't have, I guess, preconceived ideas about what may or may not work, how they're happy to experiment regardless. And it was tacky, it was messy. I've got flour all over my shirt. They even ran out of gluten-free flour and made their own. But I'm excited because that's what we'll put the mulberry jam on. And it has, by all accounts, at this point in time, going into the oven, it looks like it has worked. It is using our gluten-free sourdough starter that Mr. 14 fed and lovingly created the other day. It looks like it needs feeding now. Again, well, they took half of it out or 3/4 of it out to make the beautiful brioche style bread. So anyway, see what that turns out like this afternoon. So we're going to make jam. Do say hi if you're watching on. If you've got someone in your life who has a Thermomix, share these videos. Okay, they need to know there's an easier way. And actually, the other thing is if you're on one of those groups or pages that are Thermomix related and people say, you know, oh, what are you making, or who do you follow, or how do you do this, share my videos, please. Go to YouTube, grab the links, share the links. YouTube is the library, okay? So think of it like the library. It is so much easier to search. Just type in TMXing Adventures and then type in jam. And you're gonna get all the videos I've ever done on jam, or whatever the case might be. If it's bread or gluten-free or dairy-free or whatever it might be, do that, okay? The only thing I'm not very good over there is doing tags, you know, gluten-free, dairy-free. I'm not great at those particular tags unless it's in the title. But the library over there that's what I created it for, because you guys said I can't find things, because after the now, when it goes past your newsfeed, it disappears into the world, and who knows after that if you ever find it again, right? So with no further ado, let's get started. We're going to go straight into start. This is an amazing recipe. 4.7 stars, mixed berry jam, 10 minutes at the Thermomix, 50 minutes in total. It makes half a litre. Sounds like a great one to me to put on your Christmas list so that you can actually, you know, easy Christmas gift. Jar of beautiful berry jam. So we'll go start. First things first, we're going to use a vegetable peeler, peel the zest of a lemon. Done that. And set aside. Remove the white pith from the flesh and set the flesh aside, separate to the zest. So I just cut it off. By the way, mine was a mammoth lemon. I've just done half a lemon. Place the reserved lemon zest in. Oh, I love doing this. Next, I love zesting. Great. 10-second speed 9. By the way, if you want a better zest, use some... Press play. More so if you've just taken it out of the fridge, use some paper towel. Just paper towel it on both sides, and you'll find that the drying it off means it doesn't stick to the side of your bowl so much, and it is easier then to get finer zest. I don't think it's going to matter in this case, so I'm not too worried. But yeah, particularly if you've taken it out of the fridge and it's then got that condensation on it, after you've peeled it, between some baking paper, get that condensation off. Scrape down the sides with a spatula. Oh, see, look at that. Even just having that little bit of zest in there, that wasn't a huge amount, really, in the scheme of things. So nice. And the house smells amazing now. I love that. Can you remember before you had a Thermomix and you had a grater or a zester on your grater, and how annoying that was, and how often you zest off your fingers or your fingernails? More so than your fingers, I hope. So yeah, we don't need to when we go to Thermi. We got to grate that again. I'm not even going to bother. It is small enough that I am not going to do that. Scrape down the sides. Step. What is all that noise? Okay, next up, we're going to add in our sugar. So it's 250 grams of sugar. Now, you guys know that if I get a chance to skimp on the sugar, I do. Don't in jam. okay, because the sugar becomes like a sugar syrup, which becomes your thickener. So don't skimp in jam, okay? Skimp in how much you put on your sandwich, not on the actual recipe, or you'll end up with a sloppy syrup that you'll probably stir through ice cream or something, but it won't have that thickness to be jam-like on a piece of bread. And I know it's a lot of sugar. It's jam, okay, friends? Jam. There are sugar-free or sugar-reduced ones where you use like apples or chia seeds. You can check them out on Cookidoo. It says a vanilla bean. I'm going to use my vanilla essence that I've made. I'm actually going to top that up shortly. Can you see how low it is? So when I came back from Fiji, I went through duty free and I grabbed a bottle of vodka. I think they thought that I was going to drink it all. I have no intent of drinking any of it except for turning it into this. So I think it cost me 34 Australian dollars, which I was pretty stoked about. Okay, here comes my mixed berries. So 500 grams. So I'm going to start with these. I dropped one. Messy things. I do love how quickly they do really well though. Okay, and then we're going to top that up with some strawberries. Oh, by the way, they're frozen. So I may need to extend my cook time just a whisker because of them being frozen. Just have to wait and see till the end. And then we're going to add our reserve lemon and our vanilla pod. So it's just the lemon flesh. I'll just chop it in half. In they go. I don't have the pod. I put essence into it. Or extract. What would that be? I don't know. One of those. So place the Vorwerk dish without the lid on mixing bowl lid. Place Vorwerk dish without the lid. Oh, I see what they're saying. Without the Vorwerk lid. I was trying to work out what they meant. So this, they want this. This means that it contains the splatter. It kind of funnels it and it can't go out anywhere. Okay. It has a 40 minutes, 105 degrees, speed 2 until setting point is reached. And there's tips around that at the end. So I'm going to come back to you on YouTube and show you how we jar this up at the end and talk through that process. So come back on YouTube tonight, say hi on YouTube, and let's do that then. By the way, a little community service announcement, and I think I said it yesterday, but I'm going to say it again. Until the 31st of October, when you host a demo with 2 friends, you can get a Thermo server for free. There's other things that are free or heavily discounted, but the Thermo server is the gold, in my opinion, right now. I do like the bamboo tea towels too, let me tell you. But Thermo server, you just have to jump online with 2 friends, and I'll cook for you. If you got a Thermomix, we can cook together. I love that. I did a whole lot of it last night on a new consultant's prac, and you can get yourself a Thermo server for free. Usually one of your guests have to buy for you to get it for free, but not till the end of the month. So if you live in Australia, anywhere around, I'd love to hop online with you and cook obligation free. No one has to buy a Thermomix. It's information sharing. It's empowering. It's what this is and what it does. And if you want one, this is how you get one. That's how I do demos anyway, normally. So if I can help, let me know. I'd love to help you. And if you are in Australia and you want to get your hands on a TM7, please reach out. I'd love to be the one to give you the link to buy and support you to get the most out of it. But otherwise, have a great afternoon. I'm going to see you on YouTube in 40 minutes to check this is ready to set and see the final. Okay, welcome back. I have actually just finished this step, gone to the tips. And an interesting thing in the tips that I didn't read beforehand is they said don't use strawberries, which I think is fascinating. Anyway, that's okay. Too late. Have done. Let's see if it's ready to set. They just said the water content is too high on strawberries. Interestingly, on the TM7, nothing's out the top. No splatter at all. So, interesting note. We're going to now, if I look at my prep steps, by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, can you see the add note on the screen of the TM7? You can actually add your notes in. So if you vary something, you can put your notes into it. So now we're actually done, but we're going to do a test. So it said add a saucer to the freezer, 5 to 10 minutes. I actually had a tray the kids had left in there, so I'm going to use that. It says add a teaspoon to the tray, and it says if set, the jam will quickly form a gel consistency. So this is what I've got here, just having a look at that texture. This is actually quite a chunky jam, like in the sense that it's got a lot of texture to it. Generally, our jams are not. Now, I can actually tell that is a little runnier than I'd like, but not completely. Like, have a look at that. So it's running, but it's kind of not. So with that in mind, I'm going to give it 10 more minutes to cook. So I can go back to my recipe. I'm actually going to lick the spoon in a second too. That probably doesn't surprise you. I'm going to hit the repeat button. I'm going to put the lid on and I'm just going to give it 10 more. I'm not going to worry about the aroma on top, purely for the fact that it didn't seem to need it on a TM7, how it doesn't have the hole in the top. But if you've got a TM6, TM5, TM31, definitely put that on. Otherwise, it'll be a big splattery mess. Yum. That's really yummy. So I'll give this 10 more minutes and I'll come back and I'll jar it up with you. I'll see you soon. Okay, welcome back. I forgot to reduce the timer down. So it's been counting down, but I kind of remembered and came back to it. So let's have a look at it now. We'll just stop this step. It's actually on speed 2, so technically we could have taken the lid off. And even to reduce it down, we could take the lid off, right? But I think we're fine. I think we're done. That looks really not quite thick. However, what I also want to do, I made mention before, it says allow the jam to cool in the mixing bowl, then carefully remove the vanilla pod. We never had that. And then pour into a sterilized jar. Very pretty. I actually want to get rid of some of that texture. So I'm going to go finish. I'm going to come out to my manual mode. I'm going to turn it up to speed 5 and just chop it for a couple of seconds. If there's any lemon left, I want it gone. Those were relatively big chunks. If there's anything else, I don't want big chunks. I don't want to come out with 2 big chunks of lemon in it. So I don't think it needed long, but there we go. That is done. And now it's just a matter of putting it in. Now, I was also thinking after I finished on camera, this actually might have taken a bit longer to set. Splashing because it was frozen, so some of those berries were frozen when they went in, so that would have also changed the outcome. It's yummy. I'm just going to put it down and pour it this way instead, and if you pour onto a spatula or obviously into a funnel, it will actually stop the splashing. So in this goes. I should have actually got open my jars at the back, new to the mix shop, these beautiful vacuum seal jars, and actually use the 500ml jar from that, but alas, didn't think of that. So look at this beautiful jam. Perfect Christmas gift. Perfect for on brioche or on croissants or whatever you want as well. But there you go. I hope this inspires you. I hope you give it a go. If you have questions, let me know. I need to get another jar out now to put this one in. But yeah, enjoy making jam for gifts and things like that this year. But take care and I'll see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.